Hello everyone, it's me, Buffalo Staple, and welcome to Sloth Window Crest, a music podcast where we discuss whatever the fuck we want, but we mostly just talk about music, so if that sounds appealing, then stick around because you're in for a pretty good show, hosted and edited by me, and the music provided from our very own Elliot Ferguson. The podcast is starring myself, Elliot Ferguson, and Lamar Edwards, and yeah, we're just here to kick back and just talk about some shit, and if that sounds fun, then yeah, stick around, get comfortable, grab some snacks, and yeah, enjoy the show. I'll see you later. Hey, what's up? This is a podcast called Sloth Window Crest. I'm joined with two other contemporaries. One of them is named Elliot. Please introduce yourself, Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and I'm a music and game fanatic.
Hell yeah, you are.
So, yeah.
I'm also joined by a man, or human, whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm an animal.
His name is Lamar Edwards, aka Zenia. He has a channel of his own.
Yeah, today I'm going to be more human and not animal.
Yeah, I don't know why I should
You can find me on YouTube though, Zenia. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we've been planning on making this podcast since like November last year. I believe it was during one of my streams on Twitch. One of you guys mentioned it. I was
You
like,
just stream all, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you guys said it, and I was like, that's fucking goat. Like, that's a genius idea. And then I was like, yes, we are doing this podcast, and here we are. We were brainstorming names, and we were just like, we all thought of like a word. Like, it was just like, okay, everyone just think of a word. We all said it at the same time. I said sloth, you said window.
I said crest.
You said crest? Okay,
Yeah.
I
said window.
Yeah, and we're just like, fuck it, sloth window.
Yeah.
And that's why
like the
it's...
sickest way to come up with a name for something.
And that's the
The
way...
goat.
That's the way it was born.
Exactly.
So today we're kicking off the series by talking about the Black Panther.
Yeah, I thought, since Black Panther's got a lot of hype right now. Well, to be fair, the hype's kind of died down a bit, which is good, because that kind of removes, like, bias or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, basically, we're going to talk about the soundtrack.
Pure thoughts.
Yeah, opinions and whatnot. The movie as well, and the soundtrack. Obviously, it's a music channel, but I was like, fuck it, why not we just talk about the movie?
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the podcast, we got a little something. I'm going to keep it secret for now.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait till the end. It's like a cool little additional
surprise.
thing. And, yeah, alright.
So we're going to go straight into... Do you want to talk about the album or the...
I think we should do the soundtrack first.
Streaming, and we were kind of talking about the whole listening to the soundtrack in relation to the film.
Okay, so
I thought that was quite interesting.
Because the soundtrack came out before the movie did, and me and Elliot, we both heard it before the film.
Yeah.
Right, and then I was like, hey Lamar, you gotta go listen to this. And he was like, nah bro, I'm gonna watch the movie first, because I want to get the full experience. I was like, bro, these songs ain't gonna be in the movie. It's like a separate thing, and guess what? They weren't even, they were like two songs?
2 songs. All the stars.
The way they were, no, all the stars was in the credits. So Pray For Me and Ops. Doing that chase scene, which Ops didn't even fit at all. I don't know, when Ops came on, I was like, this doesn't even fucking work. I just thought it was really awkward.
So I didn't know any better after listening to the... Right. Well, I only watched the film first because that's just what I was more excited for. Like, the soundtrack was what it was. Like, okay, there's going to be a soundtrack.
Okay, that makes a little... Because I was personally more hyped for the soundtrack
really?
Than the movie.
I can see the hype for the soundtrack, but for me, I just wanted to see the film. I didn't like
spoilers for the movie part. Like,
we mean for the review.
Yeah,
I think for the actual movie.
For like your review. Yeah,
for the review, okay.
Yeah, no spoilers. But I went into the film like I'm gonna really enjoy this because like every single song's gonna play, and like 2 played.
Right,
and
I was like, because I thought even if the songs did get played in the movie, I would have thought it would still be more fun to hear the songs first. Because then when they would come in the movie, it'd be like, oh snap, it's this song that I really like. But even then, it kind of let down on that front as well. I wish more of the songs got used. But then again, maybe not, because again, Ops didn't really fit to me. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it was like...
all right, exactly. Yeah. But,
so we'll move on to the actual review of the soundtrack. What did you listening to it first time round, did it build your kind of perception of the film? So like, when you listen to it, you're like, I can see how this is going to build around the film.
Because they kept bringing up like T'Challa.
Yeah, and like
and had that kind of tribal feel to it in some of the beats. And so I felt like, okay, this is clearly just playing into the movie and stuff. But yeah, so this soundtrack was curated by the TDE label, Top Dog Entertainment. Kendrick Lamar, Absol, Schoolboy Q, etc. So when I heard that, I was like, alright, that's perfect. Because obviously, Black Panther, the African, culture, hip hop, and like there's
just
community in there. It just made sense.
Yeah,
because they're essentially running rap right now, essentially.
Sure.
Or, well, at least like rap fans. Like,
do you feel like that's the only way it would have been able to sell? Like, not sell, but be this big?
Maybe, because Kendrick's sort of like the host of the whole thing.
Right, he's the name that everyone knows.
He's like the most hyped rapper right now. I guess outside of maybe Kanye or Drake. I mean, for albums, like when Kendrick announces, I'm dropping an album.
It's like the world stops.
Yeah, it's like the music, like everyone in music is just
I don't even think the world stops when Drake announces an album.
Drake's more of like a singles guy. I think it's like Kanye and Kendrick are the two main guys to where when they announce an album, everyone's like, alright, this is the next big thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it makes sense. But, alright, who wants to go first? Like who wants to say?
No, you carry on with what you're saying.
I mean, I was thinking maybe like we give our opinions like in turns, and then just give an overall analysis and like a discussion.
Should we go this way around or that way around?
Alright, okay. I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay, so in my opinion, the Black Panther soundtrack, it was cool.
It was cool. That was so cool. I was like, okay, I'll stop. It was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable thing. I thought it was a cool project. You know, I think it made sense for it to be what it was, because at the end of the day, it's sort of just like a compilation of pretty likable pop rap songs that are fun while it's on. You don't really take anything massively contributive away from them. Sort of just like your average superhero movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty substanceless, just some banging beats, decent hooks, some solid verses. I mean, it pretty much just seemed like the musical equivalent to like a superhero film. While it's on, it's a roller coaster, it's a ride. But when it's done, it's like, that was cool. But you don't really bring anything away from it that will like
you're not like
super resonate with you.
This was the best experience of my life.
Yeah. It's like that was fun.
Experience.
That was a fun time.
One that
it is a soundtrack to a film.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of
I think
a cool one.
I feel like
sure.
With this, it was more than just a soundtrack to a film. It was like a
curated,
well-polished album.
It was sequenced really nicely. It had like a flow.
That also fitted as like a soundtrack.
Exactly.
And a soundtrack to me is like
actually, I have an opinion on that, but I'll carry on.
And like when you compare it to other soundtracks like this, like I mean, when you think of movie scores,
you think of like Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer and shit like that.
Exactly.
But like when you compare this to other like soundtracks that are like original material, like compilations, like say the Fast and Furious 8 soundtrack.
Oh gosh.
Or the Suicide Squad soundtrack.
Oh gosh.
Where they had like new songs. Like I think Grimes had a song on the fucking Suicide Squad one. Kalani had a new song. The Skrillex Rick Ross song. And then on Fast and Furious 8 there were a whole bunch of like Lil Uzi Vert songs.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were terrible.
Song is terrible.
They were awful. Right. Like those soundtracks compared to those, this album's like fucking sick.
And I kind of feel
good.
I feel it's given a good stigma.
Yeah,
it's more of an album than a soundtrack.
Right, yeah, like traditionally a soundtrack is just like a loose collection of songs that will just go in the movie. Barely any of these songs actually are in the movie, and it actually has a sequence and flow that is enjoyable as an album.
That sounds like it could be in the movie at the same time.
Yeah.
It kept that aesthetic to it, Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I would say my favorite tracks on the album my favorite would be Bloody Waters with Absol.
Right.
Park.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I agree 100%.
It's the best track. It's definitely the best track.
It is.
I would also say X was a highlight.
Great.
With School
Great song.
That song was a banger. I thought Seasons was pretty cool. That one grew on me a little bit because it's a little bit slower, not quite as immediate as say X is. But I thought the verses from Mozzie and Reason, and that beat was lovely too. Had that kind of somber piano, like the doo doo doo.
Yeah.
That was tight. But also Ops was a fun one. Had that kind of like very Big Fish Theory that song because it reminded me of Big Fish Theory.
It's like one song I'm waiting for you to mention right
now. I'm
yeah.
The songs that stuck out to me. But yeah, Ops that had like it reminded me a lot of. I feel like that beat would have fit on Big Fish Theory. It was very like housey and like. It's very Big Fish Theory.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, the best verse on that track to me was actually this random fucking Yugen Blackrock chick.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know who that was, but she was the best part of the song to me. Like, Vince was great, Kendrick was great. Although Kendrick, I need to shout out David Rowe for making me realize this. But Kendrick, throughout the entire album, kept doing this thing. Like, I think I told you about this.
Yeah, you did.
He kept doing this lyrical thing. David, he made me realize it. He keeps like carrying over like one word or phrase and using that like every line. Like on a like 20 on, I got 20 on there, got 20 on that. He keeps saying like 20, and then on King's Dead, it's like fuck it, like one word. They just keeps like
right.
He does it on like damn near every track. And when I noticed that, I was like, damn, that's
damn, you emotional.
Damn, real funny. Yeah.
The whole Big Shot thing was like, why are you emotional?
Yeah, emotional. Yeah, he's always like carrying like the first track, Black Panther, the King, you know? Which was another highlight. I liked how anthemic that opening track was. It was really artful.
Set the tone, yeah.
It was a really artful start to the album, but which I enjoyed. But yeah, he's doing this thing a lot, and it's getting a little tiresome for me, but I mean, it's still cool, because he does manage to, like, kind of spin these phrases and words into new, different ways, creatively. But it's just a little bit like, it's just a kind of samey structure for a verse. But still, I enjoyed Kendrick like flow-wise and delivery-wise across the album. Lyrically, he wasn't really saying anything much of merit. But as in regards to other highlights, because I know you're waiting for me to say something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one I'm trying to scan. I think in regards to favorite tracks, I guess King's Dead's pretty cool. That's like
Paramedic.
Oh fuck! How did I forget?
Oh, is that the song?
How did I forget?
Paramedic is
How
like.
did I forget that?
Well,
That
hang on a
song is so
sec.
sick.
I thought you were going to say I Am by Georgia Smith.
Oh,
Because you said
fuck,
you really
dude,
liked
that song's sick.
Hold on, we're gonna get onto that, but Paramedic, come on.
Okay, I totally forgot. I don't know why my brain just. I should have. You guys have the track list up on your phone.
Yeah.
I should be.
Come on,
doing
you
that.
got everyone.
Paramedic. That part where he goes like SOBUTD, we can't lose.
It's like, oh.
Like it's fucking hype.
I'm just
left
in my
my
bed,
ears.
like just like, oh my gosh, this song.
Dude, it's fucking amazing, bro. That song.
Beautiful,
It took me a minute to come around to the first guy who appears on the track.
Yeah.
Because he felt like offbeat.
Yeah, that's
His
exactly
flow
what I
was
felt.
like, did it.
It wasn't really going with the groove of the
It's
song,
like,
which took me a minute to come back. I
okay.
kind of like the sort of loose nature.
It's
of it.
kind of harsh.
I like
it's
it.
harsh and
it's kinda
rugged.
cool.
I'm a
I
big
come around
fan.
to it, and it's also because Kendrick like starts the whole thing. Also, I'm just thinking Kendrick's gonna have a verse, but then this guy comes in like,
Yeah.
like, what the hell happened to Kendrick? But yeah, I also like that part where he's like, pull up, make it sing. It's a Drake. Like,
That one, the way the delivery of that line is just like
yeah, dude.
10 out of 10.
I like the chemistry they all have.
Yeah.
Those guys. They have actually a new album out, by the way. Those dudes, SOB. RB, they have a new album out called like Gangin' or something.
Gangin'.
It's
Okay.
called Gangin'.
cool.
I've not heard it yet, but apparently it's
Alright, so
alright. And if they bring that same chemistry they brought on this song, hey, I'm 100% down for listening to that. But yeah, that song was fucking cool. I don't know, and Georgia Smith song, that was beautiful. That song was gorgeous. The guitar on that track was stunning, and her voice was amazing.
yeah.
So yeah,
It was nice,
That was a
yeah.
lovely track. Definitely a highlight for me. But yeah, Pray For Me, didn't care for that at all. I thought the song was super boring. That beat was really awkward, and I thought All the Stars for me was really forgettable. Didn't really care for that too much. Sister sounded pretty nice in the hook, but Kendrick's verse was just not entertaining to me.
I thought it was a fun pop song.
Sure.
It was like,
Yeah, it's a pop song. Yeah.
I don't know, I enjoyed
It
it.
worked as the credits music, I guess.
Yeah.
The Ways with Sway Lee and Khaled was perfectly listenable. That's about as good as it got. I enjoyed Sway Lee more than Khaled. I thought Sway Lee had some nice melodies, but Khaled just kind of sounded like
I think he sounded a bit awkward on that track.
Sway Lee.
No,
I think
Khaled.
Oh yeah, Khaled.
Yeah. I think he was just there.
He sounded like fucking just cardboard.
Yeah, it's just like,
just bland.
I'm here.
Yeah. Sway Lee I thought brought a little bit more flavor.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, and Redemption, hated that song, couldn't stand it. That power was all like,
Yeah.
like shut the fuck up. This shit's annoying. But yeah, Bloody Waters, best track. So many fucking sick bars on Bloody Waters. Like, you'll meet your maker. I won't say it in patois.
Yeah.
Stick your figures. That's how they hang, man. You got to keep the peace to keep the peace. And
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many sick lines, man. Every other line was just such a sick bar. And
It felt like
that
a
part was
standout moment. Like in the
yeah,
album.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, his
exactly.
verse was probably the best verse in the whole thing. And
Bloody
James
Waters
Blake
is
sounded
like
sick too. And yeah, King's Dead, of course, that's a banger. That's a fun track. The future bit doesn't even piss me off at all, honestly.
I love the future bit. That's honestly the highlight of the whole
I
song.
like it because it's funny.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
stupid.
It's entertaining.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. That's just funny. And yeah, and Kendrick, his flow on that verse was crazy. J-Rock, I love J-Rock's part where he's all like, what is his... Oh, where he says like, I know y'all rain all day, you know confetti. I gotta go get.
Oh, yeah,
like,
He
little
says
flow
it
he
just
does.
Like, he's like, I know y'all ready,
It's
you know
cool.
I'm ready. I rain all day, you know confetti. I like, yeah.
Those rolling hi hats with the snares,
The
it's like,
snares so like
ooh.
reverb. It's fucking sick. Yeah, overall, I'd say
We feeling score wise.
score wise, like a 7.
Yeah.
It was
Okay, you're
good.
giving it a 7. I would give it the 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Let's
Alright.
get
I
your
would-
let's get your
yeah.
review.
Yeah,
on it,
what
though,
are your
Elliot.
favourite tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my
I've been
favourite
talking-
track.
I've been dominating. I'm sorry. Man.
Yeah. Okay, so my favourite tracks were Bloody Waters,
Mm-hmm.
Paramedic, and X. They were like the GOAT tracks for me.
The
They were
track.
like, yeah, they were like my favourite sort of trap bangers, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they were
Bloody
hard.
Waters wasn't. Really
Yeah, that
like
was
a
that was
banger.
more like that was
Yeah,
very
it's
watery, like the title.
Exactly. It sounded more like a damn beat than any beat on damn. If that makes sense.
You said
Yeah,
that
I
to
don't
me. I was
know
like,
why.
what the fuck does that mean? What does
Like,
it mean?
I don't know what it means.
It sounds
It's
more
just-
like a damn beat than any other damn beats.
Yeah, because it sounds like I don't know.
It's not on damn though.
I know, but it just sounds like a damn beat.
Could
Anyway, it
fit,
doesn't
could fit,
matter.
could fit on down.
Yeah,
It
I
could
wouldn't,
fit
I
on
wouldn't
that.
really argue with that too much.
Sure.
But
More
than any
Big
other damn
Shot, like at first I loved that song and
Oh,
now
I
I was
forgot to
like,
mention Big Shot. I forgot
There's
to
like,
mention.
like we get it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that song. That's my least favorite one.
Like
so-
trying to joust or something. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that's my least favorite. I couldn't stand that song.
I gotta take this. Joke.
Emotional. I hated that. That was mad.
What about your actual thoughts on the album as a whole?
Like as an experience, what was it like for you?
So I guess it was like a mixed album in terms of its sound.
Yeah,
we had songs like I Am by Georgia Smith, and then we had the next track, Paramedic. Like
it went, but it somehow managed to.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. I think it worked well. Like the diversity was like a nice mix. You know,
it simultaneously gave you a well sequenced album, whilst also giving you like ups and downs.
Exactly,
which was cool. Yeah, it actually felt like an album like experience as opposed to well, not necessarily. It felt like. It felt like it deserved to be listened to on its own as an album, as opposed to just like a collection of songs. Like I felt like there's a reason to listen to it from front to back.
Yeah,
I feel like, I feel like they thought about that. Like
I'm with you on that. Yeah,
but Lamar, favorite track.
All right.
Sorry, were you done?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah.
What
was your least favorite song?
Least favorite tracks, like I'll do my sort of top 3 least favorite tracks, I guess.
Yeah.
What
are you thinking?
So Big Shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Redemption, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And
what are we going with? He's thinking. Drum roll. I'll edit it like a drum roll.
Redemption interlude, because
the interlude.
Like,
it was like all the songs to get an interlude. You picked like the worst one. Like,
exactly.
Or one of the worst ones.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah. I guess that. Yeah, I'll throw that. But it's an interlude.
It's an interlude, to be fair, but it wasn't. It was just completely forgettable. In fact, I couldn't think what it sounds like right now.
Cool. So
but it was a solid album, you know.
Yeah, it was cool.
There was like more good tracks than there were bad.
I agree with that.
And overall, 7.5 is an appropriate score, I think.
All right,
yeah.
All right, you're up. What's up?
Well, for me, like we spoke about this on the stream when I was streaming, the whole kind of thing about me wanting to listen to the album.
Yeah. For
me, I kind of wanted to just see I felt like they're pushing the album and the film as 2 separate things.
Yes.
So, since I was more hyped for the film, I decided, let me just see the film what I'm more hyped for first, and then I'll get to the album so I can enjoy it more. So I don't want to feel like I'm forcing myself to listen to an album about a film that I'm more hyped about. Makes no sense, maybe, but, you know.
Sure.
But as the album itself is pretty tight, like... Yeah. A lot, like, the production... kind of captured the aesthetic of the film. I felt when I was listening to this after seeing the film, I was like, you know what? Although none of these songs were in the film, they sound like they were made to be in the film. And that's what I like, because that shows that there's a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah, I also noticed when I saw the movie, they were using like little sound effects in the movie that I recognised from the album. Did you get that too earlier?
Yeah, like the
little you just notice these little sounds.
Like I feel like the album captured the overall aesthetic the film was going for, which I actually really appreciated, because I was like, when they're kind of pushing the album and the film as 2 kind of separate things, you kind of think, is this just going to be a Kendrick album with loads of trap songs that are just kind of cool?
Yeah, Kendrick was on like every track, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't rap on every track.
Yeah, he just had like some of the songs. He didn't overshadow it completely.
You know, if I could...
his presence was always there.
Yeah, if I could compare this to like any other album that's not thing, I compare this to Compton by Dr. Dre. Because
that's fair enough. Yes, that was part of the end of the
also part of a film. Not every song appeared in it, and it was kind of like a compilation.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And Dr. Dre was barely even really on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kendrick's on most of this, but he's not always rapping.
Yeah, like there was a song on that album that was just the game, the whole song.
Yeah,
with no Dr. Dre, so that makes sense.
But yeah, I was actually kind of impressed with the album. It captured the aesthetic. I just enjoyed it. My favourite tracks would go to Paramedic, Bloody Waters, X.
I can't believe I forgot Paramedic.
Yeah.
I'm still tripping on that.
And the best song.
Like 22.
Like, can I be a gangster for like 1 second, please? Like, please.
Yeah, all right. So you're
the best song on there is I Am.
I Am is beautiful. Yeah.
Honestly, because listening to all the songs, you're kind of like hyped, or you're like, this is actually really good. But I Am was the moment on the album where I just sat back and was like,
that was like
wow,
a
okay,
really
this is
moment. It was going more than just being fun.
Yeah,
it was a really well.
Just a good song, like well written. The guitar on that is just like
beautiful. Yeah.
Like that was the moment where I just was like, I need to replay that song one more time.
I can agree to an extent with what you're saying, but it didn't give me the same like flavors that it's giving you guys.
Yeah, it was just not your sound.
It was just like, it was cool, but it just felt like another song, you know. It didn't feel like another
I feel like
song.
I can see where you're coming from from that
I can
angle.
Understand it, but to me that was like the most artful.
Because when you look at it, you've got things like All the Stars, X, Ops, Like they're all kind of flowing into each other. Even the intro, from a certain extent, they're all flowing into each other.
Right.
But I feel like I Am is the moment where the album kind of just stops and kind of.
It's like, let's get serious for a minute.
Yeah,
let's
really.
Sure.
Yeah, and it kind of. It was creative. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm with you, man. That was a dope song.
Really nice vocals, and yeah, it's just honestly, it's probably one of my favorite songs of the year so far.
Gotcha, Is that your favorite on the album?
Yeah, without a doubt. I do really enjoy Paramedic.
Nice. It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
I would say if I had a top 3, it would probably be Paramedic. I can't believe I fucking forgot that. Bloody Waters and X, but I Am gets a mention too.
Yeah, I Am just because like it's the only song after I listened to the whole album I was like, yo, let me put that one on again, like, because they're all bangers at the end of the day. But
they're all Seasons as well is kind of slow.
Yeah,
but everyone else is all the other ones is trying to be like a catchy song. That's just like even the Ways, even though it's quite slow, it's trying to be like kind of vibey and it's like just fun. You know, it has a like real playful feel to it. But yeah, what would you score it then? How's it over
yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.
Cool. So yeah, 7 point. So yeah, it's just good.
It's good.
It's a good album. It's not really gonna stick with you at all. It's just like the average super.
It's got jams on there that I can definitely see myself revisiting throughout the year, without a doubt.
Exactly.
But
after that, you don't know where it's gonna take you.
But the thing is, this is why I kind of actually ended up really enjoying the album, because I really enjoyed the film, and now that I can go back and listen to the album, it kind of brings out that same emotions that I felt while watching the film. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it more.
Cool.
Like I don't know, it just kind of has that effect on me. So every time I remember, go on.
Can I ask, like, how did you guys feel about the beginning of Paramedic? Because I've got to be honest, I really didn't click with that.
Oh, you mean the bit was like, I am Killmonger?
It gets me hyped now.
Like
it does.
That. Here's why I like that, because it's like it starts off, you're like, okay, this is what's happening here, and then out of nowhere the beat comes in, like, oh fuck, it's like a surprise, you know. So it makes, when the beat comes in, it makes it that much more.
To me, it felt like
just like filler noise for no reason. Because I can see that.
To me, it felt like how Saturation 1 did Bump.
Okay.
So you know how it's like the sort of extremes, like the.
Yeah, and then it's like. Sure, but this one comes first though. On Bump, the extreme shit comes first, but on this time round, the slower shit comes first.
Yeah.
So it's a different, but it's the same.
I'm talking in terms of the contrast. Like,
yeah, okay, I understand. It just felt like a bit out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
For me, now that I know that after my first listen, I know that that's the start. When I hear that, I'm just like, yes, I know what's coming after. I'm like excited for like.
I mean, I liked it on the first listen, but I kind of skip it every time now.
Okay, I don't really bother skipping it. Because I just know the beat's gonna come in after that.
So yeah, 7.57.
It's a good album.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
It's recommendable.
Yeah.
If you like, it's like a thing like if you enjoyed the film and you enjoed the music in the film, just why not listen to the album?
If you're looking for some fun pop rap, then this will probably help. You know, your day be good.
Yeah.
this is pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, that is our feelings on the soundtrack. Now let's move on to the movie. Okay, so Black Panther movie. The soundtrack, we enjoyed the soundtrack. Cool. This time I want Lamar to go first.
You want me to go first?
I believe this is the 18th Marvel movie, by the way.
The 18th
one.
Damn.
Directed by Ryan Coogler, who directed.
Do you know when that's since like?
Sorry.
2000.
You
Like,
talking about since the MCU booted up? So
when-
from
since the MCU movie, I think the 18th.
Oh,
okay.
That's crazy.
Still a lot, yeah.
Which kind of might come into play with a little bit of an argument I have going on.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut straight to the point.
I wanted to mention. Wait, it's directed by Ryan Coogler, who made Fruitvale Station. Great movie. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I just want to mention that.
I haven't seen that film, but it's a great film. Go watch it.
Also starring Michael B. Jordan and Creed. I think he did Creed.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was in Creed. Yeah.
I think Ryan Coogler did that as well. But yeah, go ahead.
I really enjoyed Creed. So
Creed's sick. Yeah. All right, Lamar.
I'm gonna cut to the chase. I love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I kind of could see that there could be a lot of flaws in a film like this, and it could just end up falling into a loophole where it's just like every other superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I can understand people that might feel that way against a film like this.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I felt like this was a lot more refined as of, like you said, the 18th Marvel superhero. I feel like this time, for an origin superhero movie, you could think we had seen the same thing a lot of times with many other heroes.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is definitely T'Challa's story.
Mm-hmm.
It's done in a very unique way, presented in a very unique package.
Yeah, I can know. The presentation did feel not like it.
I feel like there was a lot of attention to detail, down to the set design. I felt like
really
this was just a much better thought out origin story and just a much better thought out superhero film to make it more enjoyable for an audience that has like seen 18 other Marvel films.
Sure, okay, I understand.
But on the other side, I can see where people might feel like, oh, this is the same thing but with black people, you know. But me personally, I love the film. There's a few flaws in it. I definitely say I don't really feel Michael B. Jordan's performance in some areas. I'm a fan of him now. No, I liked him in Creed.
Okay.
I know people have their thing, but yeah, the character of Killmonger is a very solid character. Like, especially for a first film. Like, some villains take a couple of films to develop like that, but Killmonger from start to finish is like a villain that you can almost empathize with, and I think they're the best kind of villains.
The best are the ones where you can understand the movie.
Right. So I thought his actual character was very well written, but the performance was a bit sketchy for me. When T'Challa comes back and he's like, I'm back, and it's quite a grand moment. Yeah. And he's just like, it's all over. It's like, I know you have ideals and you want to be the king, but if you're talking like you're about to overthrow the king, at least like make it feel like a more grand moment.
Right.
And that's really where my main flaws, and it has a few pacing issues, mainly at the start and the end of the first and third arcs. The middle part is
I
like
agree with
correct.
That completely.
Yeah. The first part's feels a little bit all over the place, where it's like, okay, we're here, we're there. Now we're going to London. It's like, okay, right. And then the third arc's like a lot of talking, and it's like, we know what's going to happen, so we can kind of just show it. Yeah. We can show it, not tell it.
Exactly
like, we know what's going to happen, just show it, you know.
That's how I felt, 100%. Yeah.
But those are my main flaws of it.
Alright, sure.
But honestly, really enjoyed the film. Gotcha. It's a solid 8 out of 10
Wonderful.
for me.
Awesome. Elliot, you're up.
Cool.
What do you think?
So, Black Panther the film.
Alright, what we got? We're getting ready.
Differing opinions incoming.
Okay, so when I first watched this film, I was like, this film is like the GOAT. It's like so good.
I love your use.
The GOAT.
But I think it was just because I was with my friends and we were like all really like sort of high on the atmosphere, I guess.
Like upon further thought, as it were.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's worn off a lot because I don't know. I just looking back at it now, the film was boring. The humour felt very lackluster to me. Yeah, the humour didn't feel anything special, but again, I'm not going into a Marvel superhero film for the humour.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, a lot of them are quite humorous though.
I hear Ragnarok is more of a comedy.
Thor 3 is
fair,
hilarious.
Me myself, I'm not a film guy. I'm a music and games guy.
Right,
so I don't really care much about films, honestly.
Sure.
But
do you know what? That raises an interesting point. Sorry to cut you off, because I feel like a good film in your eyes could also, in a way, this might be strange, play out like a good game. And I feel like if you look at Black Panther, like, just hear me out. If you looked at Black Panther as if it was a game, the start of the game could be quite confusing, whereas when you get into the middle part, you're like, okay. And then you get to the end of the game, and it's like, kind of...
That was disappointing.
Yeah, kind of... It's like the final boss is like built up for the whole story, and then you get to the third part, and it's just not getting there.
And he dies on the end of a cliff, like, like the weakest death of him, like, ever.
But in a way, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that, like, because you said yourself you're a game guy, so it's kind of, maybe you see it as in that kind of way, I don't know, but if I look at Black Panther in that perspective, like, if it was an actual game, I definitely wouldn't have seen it as, like, an amazing game. But, anyway, that's just a concept.
It just felt like another film to me. People are saying, "Oh, you don't like it because I don't know."
Yeah, a lot of people say like, if you don't like it, you're racist.
You're racist.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to say it. So
Because you know how everyone is these days, bro. You say something wrong, all the SJW feminists will just
exactly. By all means, just It's another. You should treat it like another film.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you're not racist. You just don't like the film. Like,
Exactly. That's how it
the
is.
film isn't a black person's film, and if you don't like the
Exactly.
film, you don't hate black. Like, no.
Exactly.
It's another Marvel film at the end of the day. So if you don't like it,
the political thing surrounding it is ridiculous.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Taking it way out of proportion.
yeah,
It's
but
crazy. But yeah, overall, what would you say? Then?
Yeah, I would. I'm feeling a strong 5.
so it's just average,
Just like
run of the mill Marvel
Yeah.
film.
Okay.
yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Okay.
Do you wanna...
Yeah. All right. It's me now. Okay, so.
I don't know what you think about this film. So
Yeah.
this will be interesting.
All right. So I've given this a lot of thought. You know,
Okay.
You know, I mean, good first impressions.
Yeah.
You know, how I felt when I saw it. How I felt thinking about it. I've come to the conclusion. In my opinion, Black Panther is pretty easily one of the worst Marvel films.
Whoa.
Top 5 bottom worst.
Damn.
Did not enjoy it. It was boring. There was nothing interesting about it remotely. It wasn't funny. It was predictable as fuck. The main character of Black Panther is just a complete faceless, paper, boring
I'm with that.
nothing.
Assassin's Creed
And-
Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, why do you say that? Why do you say
Because that's how you feel like about the main character in Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, yeah, again, that's true.
And the
as well.
gameplay is rather
Yeah,
lackluster
I-
too, you know?
Thought it was a complete slog.
Yeah.
The best part of the film, I thought, was the action was beautifully shot.
Sure.
Particularly one moment, you know, when the scene you were pointing out earlier, when T'Challa comes back and Killmonger's like, bring it, and then he comes in, and like there's a really sick moment where like they bring up this like weird like blue rectangular
And he
plasma
smashes the
shield,
ground.
and he jumps over, smashes the ground,
Yes,
and
that.
in midair
Yeah.
he fucking grabs an arrow.
Chucks it.
Throws it at a
Oh my
helicopter.
God.
The helicopter comes down, and then he runs off to the side and just continues to just fucking destroy
Probably
these
the
dudes.
best part about the film.
And bro,
yeah, it was
That
pretty-
part, I was like,
and here's the
whoa.
best part: the whole part, that whole thing I just described, was all like in one shot. Like it was like continuously showing it all in one long take, and I thought
Yeah.
it was so sick. However, you cannot defend these jokes; they were trash. That part, where she was like, "What are those?" Obviously, that sucked. That was the part where like she was like, "Hey, punch the armor," and she was like recording it, and I was like, oh, "Okay, I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna punch it, and he's gonna go flying." He's like, "Oh, delete the footage," and that's exactly what happened. Every joke just fell flat. The only 2 moments that I thought you could somewhat defend was that part where Martin Freeman was all like, "Oh, yeah, Your Highness," and the guy was like, interrupting him. I thought it was kind of funny because it was just random.
like,
It was just
yeah,
like,
it was
what?
like,
He was like,
what?
like, what? I was like, okay. Like, and I just like random humor. And there was also that part where Andy Serkis' character Claw, that part where he was, the part where he was
that
like,
part
you can go, but it's okay. And then he like runs off and he just shoots him. He's like, got to spread out the crime scene. I was like, yeah. I didn't really laugh at that. I just smirked. I was like, that's kind of cool. But for the most part, there was nothing interesting about it. It wasn't funny. It just was boring. It was average Marvel. Michael B. Jordan was great as the villain. Probably one of the better Marvel villains. I would say he was a solid villain. Yeah.
Very
overall,
differing opinions. Very differing
Yeah.
opinions.
I would give it a 4. I thought it was bad. Didn't enjoy it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's in that same lane as like Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man Homecoming, Age of Ultron, just like middling, just like, yeah, they're just the same old superhero formula, doing their thing. A few jokes here and there, you know, it is what it is. And like my favorite superhero movies are ones that like legit do something like different and have a different feel, like the new Thor, which feels nothing like any other superhero movie in my opinion. Has a completely unique tone. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, good example. Dark Knight, fucking, I'm trying to think. Civil War, where it pits the superheroes against each other. Winter Soldier, which is like a crime drama. It's like really like fucking like an espionage thriller. Yeah, like those movies all have like a unique thing to them. Black Panther doesn't. I just think it's boring. Like, and there were just some really annoying fucking moments. Like the part where the guy from Get Out, like, you know, that Michael Kaluuya, his character. There's a part in the movie where he's all like, I took like your dad like 30 years and you still couldn't kill Claw. You're just more of the same. I'm like, bro, it's like 3. He's just fucking started, bro.
Yeah.
Like, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Like I saw like a meme on Twitter, you know, the little Uzi where like, it's on my 3rd day out here. It was like that. It was like that, but it was like you're more of the same. It's on my 3rd day. I was like, exactly. Like,
But
so yeah, overall, I'm feeling a 4. I didn't like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Overall, I
no,
would not watch
that's
it.
fair enough, man. Like
Yeah.
the points you made, like they're obviously to you and stuff. But
Yeah.
a point I wanted to make is that a lot of people that have a dislike for this film, not you because you seem to have your reasons and stuff, but
Yeah.
a lot of people that have kind of said, "Oh, I didn't like the film. I didn't think it was very good," and you know, I've asked them why, and they've kind of said, "Well, it's just another Marvel film,"
Yeah.
which kind of brings me to the point where like I feel like Black Panther it is distinct. It is unique, and there is a lot of attention to detail in that film.
I agree that the way it's presented, like you said, is different. Like the environments are super exotic to match that sort of.
And I just think like the general story of it is it's not your typical guy gets a superpower and there you go.
But it's still just as predictable.
Yeah, but it's a superhero film.
Yeah, so I feel like what kills it for me because it's every bit as.
I feel like every superhero film is predictable in some way.
Yeah, I agree, but that's. Yeah, sorry.
This is an arguable topic, but like The Dark Knight is a superhero film, in my opinion.
It's more like a thriller.
But it's like that is how you do a good superhero film.
But the thing is, okay, here's the thing though, but is that because of the hero? Because Batman is a lot more intricate and psychological as a character. Like you can make that
and his as well as his contrast with the Joker. The way
like their dynamic is you can make that a kind of film. Yeah. You couldn't really do that with any Marvel hero, could you? Could you name one Marvel?
Maybe.
I feel
possibly, but I don't think it would really be executed. I feel like
because Marvel has a much lighter tone.
Yeah, I feel like the Dark Knight trilogy works because it's Batman.
Yeah, DC
like
always
the
trying to be
DC
super,
origin,
bleak and dark and grim. And like, this is like, more psychological and shit.
Yeah,
and sometimes it works. Dark Knight. Sometimes it doesn't. Batman v Superman.
Right. Yeah.
But Marvel in general is just a lot more lighthearted. So
but what I wanted to raise the question is if Black Panther to say was to come out prior a lot of these superhero films, do you think the general perspective of these people that kind of just claim that it's another superhero film, it might change? Because at the end of the day, should that really matter? Even though it is kind of like other films.
The only reason it matters to me is because I've seen that film so many times. If it
right,
did come out
it makes it less enjoyable.
Like when I first saw Iron Man, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, Iron Man is
but like looking back, then it's like another superhero movie. But at that time, it was so refreshing. So when you watch it again, you have that feeling again.
Yeah.
But Black Panther is coming out 18th movie after like a fucking load of Marvel movies that all follow the same shit. Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, which Guardians 2 almost made me want to just stop watching superhero movies in general because I hate it so much. I thought Guardians 2 was terrible, but
I haven't seen Guardians 2 yet.
It was complete cancer. It sucked.
But I find that interesting, it's almost not unfortunate, but it's almost just kind of like, well, if this film was to come out time ago, then it's strange to think that those criticisms probably wouldn't be made.
Right.
And I just feel like, what if you don't look at it in that way and just look at it in its own lane?
Alright, I mean, it's hard
but
to do
but you've given your reasons, so I can't tell you, don't say that about a film.
That's just the experience that I have with it.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Sure.
Sorry,
but that's just superhero films now, I think.
Yeah,
it's also hard to bring.
Me, you got to do something different, like something interesting, like Civil War did, where it had like the two teams. I thought that whole airport fight scene was just so fucking fun to watch because of that.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, the humor is really interesting and just not like it was directed by Taika Waititi, who did movies like What We Do in the Shadows, really funny comedy, as well as Hunt for the Wilder People, which have really niche, interesting, weird senses of humor. That's not like your average comedy.
Right.
And it brought that to the Marvel universe, which I thought was just so cool. And that interested me, but Black Panther had nothing that really grabbed me. There was
That's
no
fair enough.
aspect of it that really pulled me in. It was just boring.
I thought it was just very visually appealing.
It was visually, I'll give you that. And also
the suits are badass.
Yeah,
like,
also,
gosh, get me that right now.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Get me that.
Speaking of suits, I'm not sure how Michael B. Jordan suddenly got like a leopard suit when that suit was originally intended for Black Panther, which I thought was really weird.
Oh,
I know what you mean.
He was like that was one of the suits for Black Panther, but he picked that one, and then now suddenly he made like a weird leopard suit. Like it's a Black Panther suit. If he would that's the thing. He's like the Black Panther, and he had the option to pick that suit. So if he had picked that suit, would he just become a leopard now? That was fucking weird. But also, I'm not sure how the hell Killmonger. You know that part in the movie where he killed Claw and brought it to Wakanda, like he brought the body. How did he get in there? He just strolled in. There was like a whole elaborate way to get in at first, but he just walked in like, "Hey guys, I killed Claw." I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Exactly.
That was really weird.
Actually,
But and also that whole freeze joke was stupid. That part at the beginning where it's all like, "I never freeze," and then he frees.
I never freeze.
He could see that coming a mile away, and then he's like, "You froze. Did he freeze?" And it's like, "Bro, can you get off this freeze shit?" I was like, "Gee, this freeze joke is still going on." But yeah, for me, it was a 4. I don't really care for it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's great that we had different opinions. We went from meh to no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that pretty much sums up any other, added additional.
It's in my top 5, next to Iron Man, Guardians.
Damn, Guardians 1.
Because for me, like the whole thing of I've seen the whole the superhero cliche, I've seen this before. It doesn't faze me because
Sure.
I kind of expect that almost every time I see
Right,
a
yeah.
superhero film.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's a fair
It's
argument.
just hard for me to get over it. Man.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. For me, it's quite easy to get over because at the end of the day, it's a superhero film. But yeah, that's definitely one that sticks out to me
Sure.
the most, along with Guardians, Iron Man as well,
Yeah.
just being the best origin, and obviously Spider-Man because it's just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
what do you think of the Thor movies 1 and 2?
don't like them.
One with you, 100%. I was just curious.
Thor 2 for me is quite possibly the most pointless film I've ever
That's-
seen.
yeah,
Like,
so
why
bad.
is this even a thing?
Did not like Thor 2.
Well,
and-
Ragnarok's supposed to be good, right?
Yeah,
Right, I
Ragnarok
need
is
to
great.
see-
I love Ragnarok.
I need to see Ragnarok.
1 and 2 because they're way too serious. And like, they're way too like, oh, I'm Thor, I'm God of Asgard. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like, 3 is more just like, who fucking cares? 'Cause Thor works way better as a comedy. He just works so much better when he's like goofy. But yeah, I loved it. But
I
Thor
thought
2,
Thor 2 took itself way too seriously for
Yeah.
what was essentially just
Yeah.
a space romance. I'm like,
Exactly.
okay.
And Natalie Portman's character and Kat Dennings' character, just boring. Did not care.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, and that is the movie reviewed. We good?
Of Black Panther, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, wait, hang on, let's go over the scores one more time.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think you're sticking with that.
I'm sticking with a strong 8. At the start, I was like, yo, this is like best film ever, but yeah. Maybe Mike dropped down to 7.5. I'm feeling 8.
Sure.
I'm gonna say 5. Still 5 out of 10.
4. Yeah. All right. Cool. Nice one. Okay, so that is pretty much what we're going to talk about. Like, I mean, you know, it's episode 1. I thought Black Panther's a pretty good entry point, I guess, for like newcomers because it's the first episode. So it's like, hey, this is like a pretty simple, straightforward thing we could talk about, you know. And then in the future, what the plan is going to be in the future, pretty much. Every episode, we're going to just talk about like 2 things. Could be albums, whatever, anything. And then we're going to do this thing. I'll tell you right now. This is what I said at the beginning. I'm going to keep it a secret, save it till later. I came up with a cool fucking idea, and I think we're all on board with this.
Yeah.
Alright, so basically we all picked 6 albums or EPs and we put them in a wheel and we're going to spin this wheel right now. It's the first spin. It's about to happen pretty soon. Not sure exactly how soon, but hey,
Yeah.
it's happening.
I got the mouse.
You got the mouse right here. we got a whole bunch. I'm going to tell you what albums are in there. Should we? I mean, there's no point. It's a bit long.
No.
Yeah, so basically 6 projects, each from all of us. I picked 6 albums. Elliot here picked 6 albums or EPs or whatever. Lamar did the same. At the end of every episode, we're going to spin it. Whatever gets chosen, so it's random, is going to be reviewed on the next episode. So
How
like,
many ones are we picking again, sorry?
we're just going to pick one. We're going to do one each episode. And then like we're going to review like 2 things, like we did today, like Black Panther, the soundtrack, and the movie, 2 things. And then whatever gets picked on the wheel. Just to keep it spontaneous, you know?
Okay.
I like that element to it.
So we're going to do one
One
wheel
right now.
spin.
Yeah, there's a good
I thought
variety.
it was
here.
2 for some reason. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think earlier the plan was to do 2, but now
I thought
I think
if
it's
it was-
more condensed because I don't want the podcast to be like over like an hour. I want it to be like like around the 40-50 minute range.
Yeah.
Because you know I like
It's like a good
podcasts.
album length.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
like,
that-
you know, exactly.
Wouldn't it make
Yeah.
like sense to do 2? Because we did
I
like
mean-
say Black Panther, we did the album and then the Black Panther review, so that
Yeah.
kind of fits 2.
I mean, I think 3 is just a nice bite-sized thing. Like 3 things to review. Like 2 things that are like recent releases, like albums. And then,
Oh wait, no, we're gonna do 1 recent release and then 2 spins. That's it.
we could do that. What do you think? We already when we did 2. Maybe. Elliot, what are you gonna say? Elliot, you had something to say.
I was just sort of thinking we do. So, like a movie, an album,
I don't want.
or like a game, an
Yeah,
album.
I don't want a movie. Yeah, anything. Just like I don't want the movie to be a regular thing. Just like it could be 2
Sure.
albums, it could be 2 movies, it could be anything. Just this is a podcast. It's primarily a music podcast.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
because obviously my channel's a music
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's whatever the fuck we want. You know, it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. But yeah. So
And then whatever we get picked on
Exactly.
here. So
Yeah, yeah, I think we
3
should-
things we review.
yeah, I want it to be 1 because I think the 1 spin should just be like that's the one.
Yeah,
like, You
yeah.
know, so it's a more epic thing.
But we'll have
Right.
3 things to review in total.
Yeah, 3 in total.
Including
I think 3
this,
is
the
a good
next
just bites. Like not too long, not too short. But yeah, should we spin this
Yeah.
wheel or what?
Yeah.
Who's now? Okay, so whatever whatever gets chosen will be reviewed next episode, which means you guys got to listen to it.
These are all sort of modern releases, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think we picked any like massively. Oh, I think the old. Oh no, wait, no, there is one.
Hang on, there is.
There's things from everything.
Yeah. It's like
there's no pattern.
Genres, whatever. We just whatever the fuck. I threw in some weird ones too, just for fun, because I know, these guys might find it fun.
Right, let's get to it. No longer anticipating.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go. All right, it's spinning now. That's one of the noises. Right.
What's it gonna? It's slowing down.
It spins for like 16 seconds, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
what we got? This looks like it's gonna land on
Lido.
It's gonna be a Lamar suggestion. Okay, all right.
Hey.
Okay, so
it's
all right, everyone.
Lamar suggestion.
Okay, so the album, the EP that will be reviewed next episode is called "I Love You" by a producer named Lido.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah,
that's my choice, by the way.
How many tracks is this?
5 or 4 or 5.
4. Okay, so it's pretty short. I recognize the name from
short
Jaden.
little concise album.
Yeah, I recognize the name from Jaden Smith's sire. He had a few beats on that. So yeah, that means what's going to happen now? Lamar will then replace Lido's "I Love You" with a new project.
Yeah.
To keep things going. But yeah, so that's episode 1.
And I'll tell you what I replaced it with next episode.
All right. Cool.
So what was?
That was fun. That was fucking fun.
That was good.
I enjoyed that.
What did we end up calling this podcast?
Okay, the podcast is called Sloth Window Crest.
Sloth Window Crest, yeah.
Sloth Window Crest.
It's the sickest fucking name, man. I love that name so much.
It just worked perfectly.
It just works. I don't know why.
It's like an angel had dropped down and just like given us 3 words. It's like, thank you.
That's exactly. I couldn't put it any better.
All right, well.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah,
if you made it this far,
guys.
you're a fucking real one. Appreciate it. Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more of these podcasts. They'll also be on SoundCloud too, if you want to just listen to it. Because obviously, watching it on YouTube, if you want to go on a walk and listen to it, then it's a bit awkward because you can't like lock your phone on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
please add that YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, SoundCloud is also a thing that exists. So yeah, I'm not sure when I'll upload these. I guess I'll do it like every Monday. I'll probably put this up on Monday.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then every Monday, that's when they'll go up. But we're recording this on a Saturday. We're gonna do this like every other week. Is that what the plan is?
We can try to,
Yeah, we'll come here.
There's no schedule with this.
Yeah, we'll just do it whenever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're ready to review it. Like, okay, cool, let's go to Lamar's. Bam, and we'll just record it. Yeah. Sick. So yeah, thanks for listening or watching, whatever. Bye.
Peace.
See you later.